What is a political analyst? And then what is the difference? Okay.
You see, politics is more of a coded language.
What I would say is it depends with why you want to venture into politics in the first place.
There are different reasons.
There are people who want to enrich.
Okay, not everybody
themselves.
gets into politics because they want to lead the country.
See, President William Ruto is trying now with the Singapore aspect of it, another nice ideology to convince people that he is seeing ahead.
There's nothing nice anyway, yes.
Hell
So we
no,
should
no.
not also rush into giving people leadership because they are outspoken.
Exactly.
Okay.
As Kenyans, are we really knowledgeable to the point of differentiating what leadership entails? As Kenyans, I feel like at times we are too ignorant. Let me use an example. Right now, Sifuna is, the talk of the town. But do you know what really is happening? There's a document known as the National Youth Council that is supposed to be helping implementers on matters, youth development and matters to do with the youth. What really happened to Vision 2030? That is the truth.
Are you going to Singapore? It's another day to listen from me, from us, from the Urban Online Show. My name is June, and today we are going to be talking about what is really happening in the country. So that is more of political side, young people's side, and generally the community at large. And when you're talking about politics, me alone, I cannot talk about politics because I already said that earlier. So I have people with me that are going to help us talk about all that. But before that, we know each other. So who are you? What do you do? Where are you from, if you like, so that we just know each other before we start the conversation.
Thank you, June. I am Brian Odhiambo. Brian Odhiambo is a community developer. I am a political analyst. I am a key account manager. All this I do from the slum of Kibra.
Okay.
Yeah, that is where we strive to ensure that everything goes on like we want to. And I hope we are going to have a candid conversation around the political aspect, economical aspect, the social aspect, and everything moving forward. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Okay, Kevin Oswago, a political analyst, political strategist. Basically, I focus on matters pertaining to politics and policy making.
Okay.
I'm also involved in slum advocacy, where we try and teach youths on civic education. Thank you.
I'll get so much interested in the policy aspect because we're also trying to look at different policies on different sides, but it's important. I've seen there's an aspect of financial literacy also that is going to come out of this, so budget. I think all these conversations are going to add into the other conversation that we've been having with young people, wanting to know more of how to track budgets, where to look, where the money is coming from, how it's going and it's flowing. I think those are our fields. But there's something I want to understand, Brian, what is a political analyst? And then what is the difference of political analyst and a political strategist? Are they the same thing? For someone that maybe is, I don't want to say living under a rock, but someone who doesn't really know.
Because I am a political analyst and he's a strategist, and we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Let me say, political analyst, from a layman's perspective, is we try to delve in on matters that the common Mwananchi doesn't understand. A political analyst will tell you what exactly is happening in the wider ODM, fraternity as a movement. A political analyst will tell you why UDA actually swept, all the MCA positions in Kenya, in as much as we have Rigathi Gachagua as somebody from that place, from Murima. So basically, we delve into issues that the common Mwananchi is not understanding on the political aspect, and maybe what all this could entail, moving forward towards the general elections next year.
Okay.
That is. a strategist like him is, if I'm in a position, maybe I want to vie next year, he's the one who will tell me if at all I have to ride on the Gen Z, momentum, or if at all I have to structure my own, path. So that is basically, from a layman's perspective, the difference between an analyst and a strategist.
I don't know if you have like what you want to add on strategy, but what I'm getting the difference, it's from just the word analyzing. Analysts will, because right now we're really, some people are struggling. What is happening in ODM? Why is there two ODMs right now? So you from your side, you're able to like see and tell people, okay, this is what is happening at this point. Is where they can split or something like that.
Yeah.
But now, a strategist will know when I want to buy. I'm not buying. I'm just saying when someone wants to buy, and right now there are different kind of things that are coming up. So you have also to align with not pleasing, but appealing to young people.
Yeah.
So how do you structure yourself in your?
Exactly.
Okay. See, I'm right. So do you want to add something?
Yeah, what I would like to add is that an analyst is one who now elaborates on the outcome, the results. He tones it down to a simple language that a common mwananchi can understand.
Okay.
You see, politics is more of a coded language.
Yes.
So sometimes that's why you've heard of the past weka tire. Then he comes up and interprets what tire mean. Now you've seen it's more of a coded language that common a layman, common citizenry cannot understand if you're well equipped with that understanding and perception of it. While a strategist is more of a mathematician who wants to solve a problem. He has seen a problem somewhere. Then the means and the way of solving this problem, he solely think about it, weighs every possible options until now he comes to a conclusion that this is the right path.
Okay.
He guides you. It's more of a guardian angel. He guides you on the worthy path to where you want to go.
Then I think I can neither be both, because when you say a strategist is more like a mathematician, me and maths, we cannot. So let me just remain in the conversation part of this media thing so that we also bring the news to the young people, but you're going to also go slow on me. We are learning both. But I want to like understand one thing. Why is this all important in the political aspect that you're doing? Like, because maybe young people that want to get into politics and it's becoming an issue are going to get into that, getting to a party, the amounts that are there for you to start selling your manifesto and stuff like that. But for a young person that wants to get into politics, why is it important to first start analyzing and understanding what is really happening than just going into politics without?
Thank you. What I would say is it depends with why you want to venture into politics in the first place.
There are different reasons.
Yeah. There are people who want to enrich.
Okay, not everybody
themselves.
gets into politics because they want to lead the country.
No. I like, there's this conversation that has been, I can't remember who exactly said this, but they said that they are leaders and then they are dealers. You get the point?
Okay.
So you see, it depends with why do you want to venture into politics in the first place? Unfortunately, we have a country whereby, in as much as you want to lead people, you must be involved in, the political happenings, in the country. You literally have to. Get the point?
Yeah.
So why is it important? Politics is very expensive. In Kenya, we have a situation where our politics based on ethnic arithmetic. As a politician, you want to learn, if I want to vie maybe in Nairobi, then what are the parameters? Who do I look for? And again, you have to have your own realignments. That is why we have Kenya Kwanza, we have United Opposition. So you have to fully understand how everything, goes on if you are, serious about venturing into politics. You have to understand what exactly is happening in ODM, so that before you decide to take positions, then you take positions based on what exactly you've understood. Because you could have a situation whereby you've not learned, on whatever is going on in the country. Then you just decide and let me just venture into politics. You see, you could be in a position whereby that agenda of yours, be it you want to enrich yourself, be it you want to work on developing youth agendas or maybe youth ideas, you might end up being on the wrong side of it all. And you see, the moment you've decided to venture into something, and maybe you've also invested, you find yourself in the wrong path, then that's it. You go down the drain. So as a politician or as a leader in Kenya, you want to become a leader, you must venture into politics. If you truly want to understand the dynamics, then you must gauge whatever is going on in the long run.
But where do I get that knowledge? Like, how do I know what is going on in ODM when right now everybody's speaking? Like, everybody have their own things of what is going on. So how do I know this is like really what is going on? Because most of the times, as a young person, that you don't know someone that you can really rely on for that information. So you're following what maybe the party leader is saying or the party's leaders are saying. But right now, there are a lot of sayings. So how do you really know what is happening?
Mm-hmm. I've ever noticed that most consequential politicians have their they have people they looked up to. They have people who groomed them. Have you ever realized that?
Yeah.
You've heard Sifuna saying, mimi ndio mtoto wa baba. Ama you've heard Babu Owino saying that I fully subscribe to the ideologies of Raila Amolo Odinga. It's because, you see, when you want to venture into politics and you're a young man, there should be somebody you're looking up to. President William Ruto was so much into the Moi regime because that is kind of like, you look at, their leadership styles, it's almost the same. So just like I said, that is not the way to go. Okay. But in Kenya, that is what you have to do. You get?
Yeah.
I want to become a leader just for the sake of my own people. Whether I like it or not, I have to venture into politics. And if I want to be there at the end of the day, then I must look for somebody who's already there.
Mm-hmm.
You get the point?
Yeah.
To stream down the knowledge they are getting. And plus, there's no harm in reading books. There's no harm in delving into what Barack Obama did. Mm-hmm. There's no harm in delving into what the likes of Chakravarti, Rajagopalachari, whatever they did. Mm-hmm. There's no harm in delving into what Aristotle, Machiavelli. So again, it's not just about them, but also you're supposed to feed your mind with information through, reading and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, will you agree with me? Let me just say, for example, I'm not going into politics. I'm not going to go into politics, right? But I'm just saying, the right way, it's maybe you've said you have to read and understand, and maybe there are laws that govern on how a party should operate and stuff like that. You're reading, but is that the reality on when you get? Now you've read, you've understood, you know it one by one. Like you've read, you know what the law says about a certain party, the leadership, like everything. And then you go there and you find shock. Because I know I've had situations where now, because reality is the reality in the books, the reality on the ground, on the party like aspect.
I think there's a theoretical aspect of politics.
Well,
and we have the practical aspect of it. Now, when we talk about the theoretical aspect of it, theory is they give you, it's a framework that gives you an understanding of what now politics is. Now, you need to move beyond theory, just like a gymnastics or an Olympians. Besides just seeing people lifting the weights, he goes and do the necessary. Then after that, you start seeing the results. Yes. So politics is more of that.
Okay.
You feed it. You feed it. Until the day now you feel like now I'm a man enough. Or I'm a woman enough. I'm worth the salt. That's now when you come up and contest, because there are pros and cons that you need to understand. So politics is just not a mere thing you just sleep and then wake up all of a sudden that I want to become a politician. Oh, I want to vote for this position. It entails a lot. Yes, it entails a lot more than meets the eye.
Which makes it difficult.
Which makes it difficult is that politicians, mostly we've known them based on oratory skills.
Okay.
And not everyone is a good orator.
Yeah.
When it comes to oration, others fail. Others can hardly even try that. But it takes an oratory skills to convince someone to buy into your ideology. So politics is more of convincing someone. Now, if you don't have that convincing power, then that's where now the analyst and the strategist comes in. They'll advise you on the necessity. An analyst now will come in and tell you, no, now you see what His Excellency President William Ruto is trying now with the Singapore aspect of it. He has developed another nice mantra, another nice ideology to convince people that he is seeing ahead.
There's nothing nice anyway, yes. There's nothing nice about... Okay, continue, sorry.
Yes, according to him, because that's his own ideology.
Yes,
according to him, he sees that it's high time now I need to start preaching, because remember, policies and human interest changes every day. Every day our interest changes depending on the circumstances and the time and the area where we live in.
Yeah.
So now he has seen that the bottom-up economy is dead, is no longer functioning.
Yes.
So he needs to come up with another ideology. It's more of like snake replenishing its skin now and then.
Okay.
So that's what you do.
The first narrative, people are not
Exactly.
really buying into it, so like bring another narrative.
Yeah, so you need to shed your skin and look brand new again. So that's politics, as I have told you. You feed it every now and then. So that's the aspect of it.
Wow. Okay. I'm just... now you want me to get into Singapore, but I'm not going there first, because it's a narrative that personally, as much as I'm not so much into politics, but everyone is a politician because life is politics. It's something that really don't make sense to me. But all these processes that you're saying, do you think it makes it easy for young people now to venture into politics? Because now you've brought the idea of what you need to do first before getting into politics. There's theory and there's reality. There's all that. So how do a young person now get to overcome all this to get into becoming a good politician? Because for you to be a leader, you have to be a politician.
Now, politics, more of in our country, it's a game played by the high and mighty.
Yes.
And they've drawn a buffer zone, a defense line, that these coming youths or youths who are into politics cannot venture into it simply because they have done what is called commercialization. It has been commercialized. That if you are not high and mighty and your pocket is not deep enough, it will not be easy to venture into politics. It becomes too expensive. So for youth who wants to venture into it.
And like youths, not like real youths, not like the youth leader, like youths. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the youths that wants or are interested to venture into politics, it has been made hard for them, but they can try because we have avenues.
Okay.
Because first I said it's more of convincing.
Yes.
People on the ground. We have avenues like for example, you have a podcast here. Here is where now you invite the youths who are interested into venturing into politics. From here, they will express themselves, what they have on board and what they intend to do to the community once elected. Now you give them the platform, because platform is the first thing in politics. Once you've gotten it, then you're good to go. Then the rest now follows. Because out of here is where you will find someone who's also interested, because politics is investment. Someone will just invest on you and say, that young man is smart, so I need to invest on him with an expectation of return, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
So this will help you move forward. So it's all about getting the platform. And if you can do the good work, always invite youths.
Yeah.
And explain
But
themselves in
what
detail.
normally happens now when you've convinced people, like you've convinced, I don't know, when you a young person in the community, you convince your people in the community because you believe those are the people that are going first to vote for you, right? So you convince the people, unakuwa na sauti kwa ground, and everybody like really go for this, and then you see that you really have like a mass of people following you. Then during elections, you find only two people. So such scenarios, what normally happen?
Now,
Because we've had such cases of young people complaining and maybe people saying that, hey, kwa ground, usitegemee what people are saying to you kwa ground.
now what happens is this. There are a lot of factors. Number one, in Kenya, we have a system known as the extractive political system,
Mm-hmm.
political institution. What does this mean? That you see, our politicians will get into the space, they'll amass wealth, right? They pocket the same amount of. Tell me why somebody will sleep hungry, but you see the kind of lavish style the politician is living. Are they in the same country? It's kind of mind boggling, right?
Yeah,
So, therefore, they get into the space, they amass wealth, and then they get back to the ground. That is why we have people like Mudavadi. When did Mudavadi, begin his politics? Alonzo Musyoka. That is why the Gen Z, when we were agitated and we went to the street in the year 2024, you see, we were like, you see, guys, let us drain the swamp where they can all go. Because, and this is my second point, the Kenyan electorate is very emotional. The emotional beings. Who, when the time is nigh, they will retract back to their tribal cocoon. What this means is they've been seeing somebody who's very vocal. Let's say, for example, Rengo. The time is right, Orengo goes back to his tribal cocoon, like huyu ni mtu wetu now. At what point do you compete with Orengo as a youth? Number one, you have no money. Number two, they've not been seeing you,
yeah.
standing with their kingpin. You get the point?
Yeah.
Number three is about tokenism. That is why a politician will be here and he'll be like, you see, me nakupatia 100, some 50 shillings. You see, now at that point, money iko kwa grao. So what happens to you as a youth who doesn't have money? You see, you have policies. As a youth, you're smart. You know what you're trying to do. Kasmuel Mokoure. I don't like mentioning names, but let me just allow me to do that.
Okay.
That guy was very vocal.
Walai.
But where is he, Rana? Tokenism. You get the point? So as the youth, we will try, but until we develop that change in our mindset as a population, trust me, we will be recycling political leaders, and politicians for the longest period. So those three things, they're very key.
Yeah, but in the case of maybe the person you mentioned, do you think, because also when what you were like talking about the other time with the same question I'm going to ask you, when you're talking about tokenism and why maybe sometimes not even in politics but also in corporate world where most people don't like giving young people opportunity, maybe because they fear of now them taking over and stuff like that. So do you think in aspect of politics and people like the person you've mentioned, but it was at the core of like young people. People trusted him because he was vocal, speaking, reasoning with what young people are thinking. But do you think now that came out as a threat to the government? And when such young people come out and it becomes a threat, they find a way of utilizing the threat. So maybe I don't know what they did to him, and now he's no longer making sense or talking the language that he used to do before. So what really happens? How? Because sometimes you find, even in other political aspects, someone is vying for a seat, someone that is very vocal. You see, this person is promising this is the leader that you're going to change the community, and then he gets to that, and he becomes a different person, and you're like, is it the system? Is it that when you get to the seat you become different? So what such conversations, I don't know if you've had.
Thank you. Now this narrows down to the aftermath of the Gen Z, uprising.
Yeah.
You know, democracy could lead to tyranny. That is the truth. What happened with the Gen Z uprising is this: crowds possess that kinetic energy,
Yeah.
whereby what happens is it will lead to some excitement. You see, the Gen Z was too excited to the point we failed to focus on our own system. We failed to focus on our own structure. This in itself was very dangerous because we didn't know when to stop.
Or even
So
how to stop.
how to stop?
Yeah.
We didn't know the end goal. Guys, what is the end goal? You meet a Gen Z and they're like, okay, you people are demonstrating, okay. Then what is the end goal? Nothing came out. So people like us, what the government does is either they will intimidate you, they will issue threats, or you will be co-opted. They never kill Kasmu. What they did is they co-opted him. Then you co-opt. Being that he was amongst those who were vocal. I don't want to mention names here, but there are a lot of people who were co-opted. You get the point? Some of them went, down the stream. We don't listen to them anymore, but Kasmuel is still here. So the government will co-opt you because indeed it was very dangerous for the government because we were losing life. Okay, losing life, unfortunately, was by design. That is how you threaten people, because but even when the government noticed, hey, Jesus, we are shooting somebody literally on the head, but these kids are still here, still coming, they're still getting into parliament. So what do? They went back again to the drawing board. That is where now they had to co-opt, the smart minds, and they had to be given, some opportunities. So that is how you quell an uprising, by picking some vocal people so that they will be divided. There are people will be like, hey guys, you know what? Let us stop this. Kasmil is already on this side. But then there are the other people who are like, no, let's continue. Kasmil is not even a lead in the first place. What happens when they are divided?
It becomes like chaos.
That chaos, and plus, you see that oomph they had, it goes down, it's quelled. So basically, that is one of the strategies you see the government uses. Then again, you ask what happens when somebody gets into a political seat. There's a huge difference. But this is Kenya. We just have to be real with each other. We have leaders who are like literally somebody like Jimmy Wanjigi. Do you know Jimmy Wanjigi has the solution to our economic problems? Do you know that? But he'll never be elected. Because we go for politicians. Why don't we think of how do we go for leaders? That is where now the Kenyan electorate also, comes in. Because it is a point whereby it's like we're blinded with that token. So and so is coming, to Guare. So and so is coming, to Guare. So then you look at, okay, this guy gave me 500 bob. This other guy gave me 100 bob. What do I do? Let me go for this other guy who gave me 500. Yeah. But that guy is a politician. The other guy had better policies than this other person. Get the point? Yeah. So when they get in, and plus, right now they will come, they'll tell you, I have this and that and that. But then again, they get into that space, you're not going to see them because they have whatever they want. Then what happens? They get into the system. Now that is where the extractive political system comes in. They amass wealth, then it comes back to the ground. At what point do you compete with him? That nigga has money. He has been there. He has been in the system for 5 years. What do you have? Thank you.
Makes sense. Someone might argue that it may be difficult to really know who is a leader, because hata wewe maybe mwenye anakupatia the 200 maybe might be worse than the person giving you 500. So how do you really know? Because sometimes we are looking at which kind of manifesto this person have. They really have good manifestos, all of them. Because if you want to convince people, like Kev said, you have to convince people, so you have to give them what they really want to hear. And all of them, when they're giving their manifestos, they seem good. All of them have the interests of people at heart. They seem good. But not differentiating which one is a good leader, sometimes it's difficult, because when you're listening for them to convince you, they've already convinced you. but maybe they just want to get into the seat. They really don't want to give back whatever they are saying. I mean, so how do you really know a good leader from a politician? Like, apart from looking at the tokenism that we're talking about. Because I also think that even the leaders and the politicians have really mastered the aspect of tokenism as the thing that drives people to them. So how do you really differentiate?
Now, there is William Shakespeare in his book, it's called The Twelfth Night. He writes of, he tries and defines what leadership is.
Yeah.
He says that some men and women are born great, others acquire greatness, while others' greatness is thrusted on them. Now, looking into all these aspects, you can identify from 1, 2, 3 that this guy is a leader. A leader is known basically from how it starts from his house, the very house, how he handles issues, how the community perceives him, how he sorts out challenges and problems within the society. However, there is a misnomer when it comes to understanding personality, because what derives leadership is more of personality. Personality is a hard nut to crack. You can't know what this guy is thinking about me, or what this guy is
or
thinking
even
about.
whatever they're thinking is what they're thinking.
Exactly. So that's where now the dilemma comes in, understanding. But this is something that can be solved after a period of time, because it comes a time that you can no longer hide your real character. It comes out. It just blows out. So leaders, or those who call themselves leaders, should be put to the test first. Putting them to the test. Once they pass the test, now that's where now you come up and say, no, he deserves this position, because leadership is just not merely something. That's why they say leadership comes from God. Sometimes I don't agree with that per se.
Yeah, we've been asking God.
Yes.
Hey,
yes, because there have been factors, as he said, there are so many factors.
Yes.
Financial factors, social factors. There is also how you relate and coordinate with the people around you. So personality, as I've said, is a hard nut to crack. It's something you cannot know. So that's where we get the challenge, or common citizen gets the challenge.
Yeah.
For example, when President, His Excellency President William Ruto came into power, people had already perceived him as someone dangerous. He's been to ICC, blah, 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 blah. But people ended up electing him.
Yeah.
Then you come and question, how comes again?
Yeah.
So
someone will argue that they didn't elect him.
It goes down to psychology, understanding psychology.
Yes.
And I'll take it down to, okay, people will say that they didn't elect him, but at the end of the day, he's there. Why is he there? How did he get himself there?
Yes.
And we believe in democracy, election.
Yeah.
And as you know, government is a contract. It's a social contract that we agree as a citizen that we elect this person, we sign a contract for 5 years. Then after 5 years, we renew the contract. Now, this guy got himself there, as you've said. Others elected him because there are section of people, as you've said, he is.
People, let's say people.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. At the end of the day, we'll realize that he found himself there. There is one factor I'm forgetting in politics. They say the end justifies the means. And now that's where now the strategy comes in.
Okay.
Yes. You are there, but how did you get there? That's now where people start questioning. But by the way, how did this guy get into power? We all loved Baba, but how comes Baba lost?
Yeah.
So that's where now you blame his strategist. That's now where you blame his the people around him, because
or
they also have another factor. Or you blame the system per se.
Yes.
Yes. Because sometimes system is created to favor some people.
Yes.
So that's the way things are. Leadership is more of personality. You crack the personality code, you get the best leader so far. You fail to crack it, we all go to the drain.
I think we'll never get good leaders Because how are we going to crack the personality code? If how okay, do you have like a suggestion on how we test? Because let's say like testing so that we know, should we give like it's if it's 5 years, we'll give someone 2 years, then we. I'm just thinking out loud because I'm trying to bring how do we test someone? Because also like you're saying, you might your personalities change. You might have a good personality. Like personally I have like a lot of personalities that they just coming in, I don't even know. So someone might have like really your interest at heart. Kevin, you might have the interest of your community at heart, but something that changes in you, something that just changes, not because you even wanted it, or maybe sometimes because I've had we were talking to a certain MCA and was telling us these petitions that we take to them, if you don't have or even how to acquire money to do your development in your area, if you're not in good relationship with the financial whatever those treasury people, you are not able to get money for your own. Or if kama umekosana na governor, if you're not in the good books of the governor at that time, you're not getting money. So sometimes maybe there are things that may be preventing you from delivering, because you can't come and build roads with your own money, right? You have the money has to be given to you from the national treasury or something that happened. So how do we like really put these people into test? Because sometimes they go for we've seen people, they go for questioning how they spend their money, and someone buy the maize seedlings and stuff like that. So such things, they become even difficult, and that person goes back home and goes back into power, and maybe they'll get elected again, or they'll find themselves in the seat again. So it becomes even tiring. Then as a citizen you say, okay, let's people do them, because what will we do?
Now, there's what is called goodwill. A man of goodwill is a man that you can per se, you can determine, you can see him that this guy truly has a good. He puts his country first. For example, somebody like Raila, there are so many occasions that you've seen him sacrificing in his personal interest and
Yes.
putting the country first. He comes up and say, no, this country is bigger than Raila Amolo Odinga. So someone of such caliber should be entrusted with the leadership. In fact, I do say that those who are not interested in leadership are the best leaders. But those who are interested are the worst. Someone who is not quick to get into a leadership position. You've seen it, for example, even things like chamas, wamama community. Unapata mtu ashakuwa kierere, mimi ndo nataka kiongozi. There is someone hidden tu pale amenyamaza, he has the solution, but since hana hiyo kujipendekeza, you will ignore him. While he knows the problem, he can solve the problem. So those who make good leaders are not wale watu kierehere.
So we should not also rush into giving people leadership because they are outspoken.
Exactly.
Okay.
What I think again is politics is about power. So imagine there's somebody who does something noble without being in a powerful position, but there's something they're doing.
It won't be recognized.
You got the point. But there's something they're doing. They've built maybe homes for widows. They've
Feeding people in
they're
the
feeding
community.
the orphans and stuff. Is that a leader or a politician?
Now, I'll give an example. There's this Raymond Omolo. You hardly see him into politics, politicking. Okay, I understand his role is a PS. At least it deters him from talking political matters. But you'll always see him, he's always under the cover. He's always behind the scene. But once you go to Homa Bay, you go to his areas, Siaya, you'll see he builds widows, builds for them houses, and he tries the best. But you won't see it in public. It's hidden. It's unless now you take a keen interest into his doing. That's when you'll realize that this guy is working. Now you can contrast him with other leaders that we have. You'll hear so and so, mimi nafanya hii. But if you go, ukienda kwa ground unapata vitu ni different. Yes.
Okay.
So that's also another way of also identifying a leader. The small position hii amepewa, amefanya nayo nini? It starts with a small position, just a small place. Hapa kwa family, is he able to solve the family issues?
Hapa kwa community,
Hapa kwa community, is he able to solve issues of community? Now that's now you tick as you move. Then you say, no, people come up. And by the way, leadership is more of it's a more of a people-oriented thing. Ni watu ndo wanakuona, si wewe ndo unajipendekeza.
That is leadership, not
that's
politics.
Leadership. No, that's not politics.
So
community
people are saying we don't have leaders.
No, we don't. In Kenya?
That was just a loud thought.
You don't have a question? Okay, go ahead.
People will start saying I said you don't have leaders. Me, I've never even voted.
For real?
Yes.
I think
I'm going to vote for the first time next year.
Is it because you're young or you didn't
yes,
see?
because yes.
Big time. I get it.
I think we have leaders.
Okay, you are contrasting. We have leaders.
According to me, we have leaders.
Yes.
That's why the country is able to. Vis-a-vis a situation where we had no leadership, that will create what is called anarchy. Now you're getting the context. It's because of a leader, that's why the country is moving. Absence of a leader leaves a vacuum for what is called anarchy, where every man does what is right for him.
But looking
now,
at the qualities that you say,
yes,
and those things that
yes.
you should look, and now I'm trying to picture the people I know that are in there. I'm putting the qualities in each and every person's head. I'm not. Anyway, yes.
Thank you for that. Now, we have the leaders, as I've said.
Mm-hmm.
The situation comes in where we have developed a system. Remember, leadership is more of a bureaucracy, a system of a government, as I've said, a contract. Some people have developed a system to protect their leadership structure, to protect the leadership structure. That's why you'll see now they are aiming to go back, despite the fact that they've done poorly on the ground. Now, this system bars you or bars the real or the natural leaders. It bars them from now executing the mandate because once you've gone to parliament, as our politicians say it's more contagious. Mtu anakuambia, Raila usually gives a story of he met a Japanese guy, akamuuliza hii ulifanya na ngapi, alipewa 100k, akasema 99% alijenga nao barabara, only 1% ndiye alijenga nao nyumba yake. But when you come to Kenya anaambiwa amepewa 100, then anasema alitumia 1% kujenga barabara, then the 99 akajenga nao nyumba yake. So you can contrast in between the two leaders. Mmoja anajituma because of the structure in Japan. The set structure ile wameset. Remember, there are things that ukifanya corruption, ukifanya Japan, that's a crime. Unakuwa.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. But in Kenya, you are glorified. So now the system of culture that we've developed is what have now spoiled our leaders. It has given them an advantage.
So it's not an individual, per se, it's with the system.
It's more of an individual. Remember, an individual is controlled by the system.
Okay.
A system is what you create. Once you've created it, it develops rules. And you have to follow these rules. If, for example, tuna chama, si tumeform chama hapa, alafu after you tukishakaa chini, kila mtu ana personality yake.
Yes.
Then tunasema, okay, kwa chama ukiingia leo tutakuwa unalipa 50 bob. See rules, uta-abide by it every now and then.
Yes.
Now, that's what the system is. It has its own rules that has to be followed. And some of these rules are harsh. They are not written. They are unwritten rules. Unapata tu pale because it's the contagious nature. Unapata tu una get into it slowly without knowing. Then una realize at the end of the day, kumbe iko hivi. So there are people who get into power with good intention. But this intention fades off as they get into the system. The deeper you get into it, the more you forget about it. And we've seen it several times happening now and then.
I hope you're loving this conversation so far. It's a very impactful and needed conversation for us as young people, especially understanding governance, how politics works, if you want to get into politics, and also as an active citizen. But because it's an important conversation, we cannot feed it all to you all at once. So you're going to leave this part of the conversation here, but the conversation continues. This is the first part of this conversation. So make sure you tune in for the next part of the same conversation, picking up from where we've left right now.